All right. Feet on the floor, Bazu in chairs, sitting up tall and looking
Smart.
smart. Tell me some of the rules, some of the expectations we have when we're at the table. Don't raise your hand is one of the expectations.
Don't raise your hand.
No raising your hand.
Do not have elbows on the table.
Okay, so no leaning. When you're leaning like this, it makes me think, oh, I'm so tired, I can't do it. All right, something else.
Hey, Carly.
Dylan, something else that we talked about yesterday.
Right here. Oh, yeah, I figured that. That's it.
Yeah, we talked about the book, but what do we talk about? What do we expect when we are at the table having a conversation? Dylan is still talking. Dylan, what do you think? Is everybody looking at Dylan? That's one of my expectations. Oh, David was looking at Dylan, and he's looking at Dylan like he's interested.
To page 30.
Uh-huh. Okay, so everybody gets to do some talking, Dylan? Who gets to do the most talking?
I just had. Wait, no.
Everybody. We want everybody to talk. Did I talk to you about tennis ball eyes yesterday?
No.
Okay, here's the deal. We did talk about that I want you to talk to everybody. And when you talk to somebody, you look them in the eye. Have you ever gone home and you're talking to mom after school and mom's busy doing the laundry or making dinner and she's not really listening to you?
Yeah.
She keeps making dinner. Doesn't that make you mad?
Yeah.
I didn't like that when my mom did. She wasn't really listening to me. I want you to look at the person you're talking to. And I want you to look back at them so we know you are listening. If you're looking down at the table, can I tell if you're listening to me? No. All right? So whether you are the speaker or whether you are the listener, I want you looking at the people that you're talking to. All right? And when I look and I'm moving my eyes like this, Mrs. Iron calls that tennis ball eyes. In other words, if I went to watch a tennis match, I watch the ball here, and watch it here, and then it's over there, and then it's there and there. So show me tennis ball eyes. Pretend you're talking to everybody at the group. Okay? So we're going to practice tennis ball eyes. Everybody's going to have an opportunity to speak. We noticed in the last group that there was somebody in the group who liked to do a lot of talking. Okay? So remember, if you're that person and you've had a few turns, wait and let somebody else. Okay? Tell me about piggybacking.
Piggybacking is like if someone said about your sisters, you would add on.
Okay, so somebody's talking and you want to add on to what they're saying, okay? Do you want to repeat and say the same thing that the other person said, David?
No.
No, that would be a waste of time and it would sort of be rude, wouldn't it?
'Cause then
Even
you
though
wouldn't be
you're
listening.
just dying to share. It would mean you didn't listen. Yeah. All right, so yesterday you had an assignment. You were to finish reading until you had to read until you got to page, what was it?
33.
33. So let's go back. Today we're reading a fiction story, and we said an author of a fiction story or a narrative text uses this graphic organizer. All right? The triangle at the beginning of the story says character, setting, what's going on at the beginning of the story. So let's pull ourselves back there. And who'd like to tell me about the beginning of the story? And that's what I want to know. Who wants to do that?
So you say the characters might be.
So this is a story about, go ahead, Alex.
3 bears and
All right, but tell about our story. This is a story about
bisons. There's a baby one and a whole herd of big.
So this is a story about a baby bison and its herd. Okay, keep going.
And the setting is in Alaska, like a snowy place.
But it wasn't Alaska, was it?
I know what it was.
Where was it, David?
Yellowstone.
Yeah, remember how when we were previewing and predicting that word Yellowstone just popped out at us? And we made a connection to it because we live so close to Yellowstone Park. So listen to Mrs. Iron. This is a story about a baby bison and its herd. They live in Yellowstone Park.
The story problem is that they're trying to find some food, so they're going on a long winter journey.
Okay, so let's tell it like a story. Listen to Mrs. Iron. This is a story about a baby bison and its herd. They live in Yellowstone Park, and it's winter time, and they're going to head out on a journey to find food. When you tell a story or retell a story, Dylan, it should not sound like a list of things. It should sound like a story. And the story does have to include all of those things. Does anybody want to give it a try? Can you do what I did? Alex, you can't do it because you've already had your turn, right? So who's going to be the brave soul to give it a try? David, can you do it? Yeah, I'll get you started. This is a story about, say that.
This is a story about a baby bison and its herd, which live in Yellowstone Park, and they're on a journey to find food.
Good job. Somebody else do it. Can you do it, Dylan? This is a story about this. Start at the beginning. This. Start with it. This is a story about. You say that.
This is a story about a young bison and a herd. They live close to Yellowstone Park.
They lived in Yellowstone.
They're on a journey to find food.
They're on a journey to find food. Yesterday, we found another word for journey. Does anybody remember what that word was?
Dusk.
Ooh, what was dusk? Who can remember what dusk was? Dylan, what was dusk?
Dusk was close to night.
Exactly, yeah, when the sky is sort of gray and dark. It's not dark outside, but the sun is going away. So I'm glad that you remembered that word. Another word that we had for journey, do you remember it? Oh, it was like travel, but it wasn't travel. Why don't you open your books to page 30? It's the word was trek. Yeah, the word was trek.
Oh, I'm going to say track or trek.
It's trek. T-R-E-K. All right.
It's not in there. Oh.
Yeah, it was the title. All right. Were there any words that tricked you or anything that you marked in your reading that we need to talk about?
No.
Okay. We hadn't read Chapter 2, The Long Trek Together. Tell me what happened next in the story, because now we're in the sequence of events. So what has happened next?